Good morning and welcome in. Today is Wednesday, January 31st, and I'll be taking a look at what messages are wanting to come through to you from Spirit, from God, the divine, the universe. So we'll take a look at each of the sign groupings, air, water, fire. In the link below, in the description box, you'll see the links to the timestamps of when the different segments start. But before we get started, we'll pull a few cards for the energy for the collective in general and see what wants to come through. So if you haven't already checked it out, there's been some other videos posting. There was the Is This Your Person video. I'll be posting the Twin Flame video today, and then I'll have a Pick Your Pile video. So there's going to be some new videos posting regularly this week, as well as some special ones for February. So make sure to hit the notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when the new content posts. All right, so let's take a look and see what energy wants to come through for today. We have our Two of Wands in reverse, King of Pentacles in reverse, and Six of Wands in reverse. So all of these are coming up as reverse cards, but before I do the shuffling, I put all the cards and mix them all around, so they just all happen to be in the reverse. So we have our Two of Wands in reverse, and this is about like avoiding change and kind of this air of indecision. And I believe this actually came out in yesterday's reading as well. So there's still some of that confusion hanging out there in the collective and this indecision and what do I want to do, and a little bit of that sense of with the failure to plan portion of it, it's kind of like you're at a point where you have to make a decision because you've kind of been avoiding it. You've been kicking the can down the road. You haven't really been planning for it. So now, the approach of kicking the can down the road and hoping the situation resolves itself generally doesn't work. So at some point, the universe really snaps it into focus. So there's that energy again today. We do have our King of Pentacles energy, and so this is a little bit of that irresponsible energy. So, this way he's being responsible, doing his chores. But this way it's a little bit more of like this, like greedy or irresponsible type of energy. And then we also have our Six of Wands in reverse. And so this is some like disappointment. Sometimes it has like a tone of arrogance to it. So with that, if you're piecing these together, if you've been avoiding making a decision, that could be putting you in that place of, kind of having that arrogance or, like that disappointment that you're not further along. And if there's this sense of financial irresponsibility, it could be that disappointment of, oh, things aren't coming together the way that I thought. But with that greediness and the financial irresponsibility together, some of it could be a matter of, okay, but where are you spending your money? So taking a look at that. So that's kind of the overall, but the one that speaks the loudest to me is this Two of Wands in reverse, because I think this is what came out yesterday in the energy as well. So let's dive into each of the individual sign groupings and see what messages are coming through for you. So for today, we'll start with our fire signs. That's going to be our Aries, Leo, Sag, and see what message Spirit has for you for today. The World. Okay, so the World, this is kind of that culmination of a cycle. So this is the last card in the major arcana. So this is kind of, you've learned all these lessons, you've wrapped it all up together. And so this is the culmination of something. So something's coming through to completion. It could be, it's not necessarily that sense of, oh, happily ever after. Now you've achieved everything you've ever wanted to have in life. So it's not necessarily that sort of culmination, but if you think about life in terms of there's certain lessons and phases and things like that. So when you pair this together with this Two of Wands, if you've been stuck in a point of indecision, the World coming up means that that you're at the end of a cycle, the end of a lesson, and sometimes there's a little bit of hesitancy, like, okay, but am I ready to close out that chapter? So that's probably the indecision that you're faced with right now is, you're at the end of the cycle, but are you ready to admit it? Are you ready to learn the lessons, like incorporate what you've learned in that lesson. So, all right, let's take a look at this. Is from the Lightworker Oracle deck. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. So if you've been doing a lot of like inner work, as you've been trying to wade through this energy and wade through this decision making, if you've been doing a lot of inner work, you're probably going to need some rest. So make sure you're not, burning the candle at both ends, because you need rest and strength. All right, this is from the Romance Oracle deck. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So take that how it resonates. If you're not currently in a romantic relationship, it could be that there's one on the horizons, or sometimes too, you can also look at it that if there's a new endeavor, that it's like the passion of a lifetime. So maybe you have found your true spiritual calling, and so maybe it isn't romantic love with another person. Maybe it's being in love and satisfied, like this is truly my calling. All right, and let's take a look at the Sufi Wisdom Oracle. Finding the path. You are the driver and the navigator. So if you've been trying to find your purpose, find your calling, this is about going within, doing that soul work. It also, if you've been working on healing, now that you're sitting in a position of healing, looking at, okay, what is my path? What do I want to do? So usually one of the good times when it's, when it's talked about finding your direction, when one thing wraps up, then it's naturally that sense of, okay, well, what's next? So make sure that whatever the cycle is that's wrapping up, that you're being true to yourself and your path for your next steps. All right, let's take a look at our earth sign. So that is our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and see what message is coming through for you. The Hanged Man. So this is that card of kind of being in that reflective state of, okay, what is it, what is this situation requiring of me? Can I see it from a different perspective? Because if you've been stuck in this point of indecision, and like you're avoiding change, and it could be something where you've been doing it for so long that you don't really know what to do. So this is kind of that reminder to just take some stillness and try looking at it from a different perspective. So the Hanged Man in the traditional deck, it's the guy, he's hanging by his foot and he's hanging upside down. So he's literally turned upside down, seeing things from a different perspective. And you're going to kind of be in that sort of mindset until you can figure out what your direction is, what your next step is. So this is a time, don't confuse activity with accomplishment. Don't make yourself busy thinking that's going to make the answer happen. You need some reflection. All right, and for your Romance Oracle card, we skipped over the other one. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. So whatever situation is presenting itself with you, if you're trying to control it, that's usually a fear response, that you don't trust that the universe is going to make things work out, the best for you. And part of this journey, part of this like spiritual awakening journey, is trusting that everything happens for a reason. So you may not like the reason, but everybody that comes in your path is there for a reason. And, you may not like the way it feels. You may not like the way the lesson feels, but there's a reason for it. And so if you can surrender that control to the divine, things will go more smoothly. So usually resistance to change and resistance to letting things unfold the way they're supposed to is what causes frustration, heartache, angst, things like that. Okay. Protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords and soul retrieval. So if you feel like especially as we're talking about like let go of control issues. So rather than trying to push your power out to other people and trying to control other people, pull it all back within you and really focus on you and what do you need in this situation rather than trying to control the outcome and control the pieces and the players. All right. And with this one too, it's this sense of you are protected. So when you look at all of those people, they're all standing there together. So your soul tribe, they have your back. Your guides and your angels have your back. So have faith and have confidence that regardless of how things are proceeding or how things are playing out in your life, there's a reason for it. All right. Make a change. Welcome change into your life. So this kind of goes along with, letting things unfold. If there's supposed to be change in your life, let it come into your life. Don't sit in a place of holding on to what you know just because that's what you know. Let things unfold the way they're supposed to. See it from a different perspective, from a different angle, that maybe this is coming through to make way for something different and better for you. All right. And especially as we're looking at, like with this King of Pentacles, the kind of this like greedy energy of wanting to hold on to a situation because it's financially in your best interest to hold on to that situation, even though it may not be spiritually in your best interest, or, for your soul, it may not be in your best interest. But there is some a sense of like arrogance and disgrace that go along with the feel as well. So it could be that you're holding on to a job you don't want because you want the money and you think it would be disgraceful to not have a job at all, to, be unemployed. But that's not the right way to look at it. Look at it that you're resetting your life to move you in a more positive, prosperous direction. All right, we're on to our water sign. So that is our Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and the message for you today is the Magician. And that is about transforming lead into gold. It's transmuting those heavy energies and not pretending that they don't exist. So when big emotions come through, or when heavy emotions are coming through, it's not a matter of, can I pretend that they don't exist or bury them? It's allowing them to flow through and allowing yourself to transform that energy into something more positive, into something higher vibration. All right. So and when we put it with this like disappointment or disgrace or an arrogance, if those are emotions that are starting to well up in you, rather than trying to shame yourself about it or pretend that those aren't coming up, lean into it and try to identify where they're coming from and what you need to do to transform those feelings into something more positive. All right, your light workers card, Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So, and there was a video that I was watching, and it was about, if you have those feelings coming up within you, like all of a sudden where it's, you want to lash out at somebody, you want to hurt somebody else, those feelings and those thoughts are echoes of what's coming in from the collective in general. As somebody on your spiritual awakening journey, if you're, a light worker, if you're a healer, the challenge for you is when you have those waves of emotion coming through, acknowledging them and then kind of like overriding them with a sense of love and peace. And that is transmuting the heavy and negative thoughts and energy of the collective, and it's transmuting it into something better, something lighter, something more loving. And so that's what stood out to me when it's talking about double mission, that's maybe part of your mission if you're a healer or a light worker. All right, let's take a look at the Romance Oracle card. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So that's that whole thing of being able to see where you need to put yourself first, and really listening to that. So yes, there's goodness in wanting to be of service to other people, but you can't put yourself in a situation where you're so much in service to other people that you have literally, run yourself ragged, and that you're completely depleted, because then at that point you can't help anybody else. So you do need to make sure that even if you're somebody who's out there helping other people, that you're taking care of yourself, to make sure you're protecting your ability to continue to help other people. And actually, it's interesting in that movie, The Guardian, with Kevin Costner and Ashton Kutcher, where they are Coast Guard rescue divers. One of the things that they talk about in that is that, their priority is they have to make sure that they come out safe, because, you can't, the whole thing of you can't save everybody, but you have to save yourself. And with that, part of the messaging is that, it takes so long, so many hours, so much training to become a rescue diver that, you can't be like your second day out on the job and, oh, okay, well, I died trying to save somebody, because think of all the other people you could have saved later had you protected yourself. All right, Sufi Wisdom Oracle. Time to play. Make time to dance and play. And so that really goes along here with this take care of yourself. So if everything is always this constant grind and, oh, I have to do this for somebody else, I have to do this for somebody else, you're really not taking care of yourself. So make sure that you're allowing yourself time to have fun, time to play, time to dance, time to be creative, things that are going to fill your bucket. All right, and now we are on to our air signs. So our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And let's see what message is coming through for you for today. The Fool, new beginnings. So with this, and actually kind of all of these color-wise are kind of going together. So you've got all the golds here and then the green over here. So if you have been having some of that, this King of Pentacles in reverse, this kind of, greedy type of, there is the downside, like the negative connotation of the greedy of, I'm just going to do everything for me. But as I was saying at the end of the water sign one, there is an element of you do need to take care of yourself. So if you're pulling your resources back into you, it depends on what your reasoning is for doing that. If it's to punish somebody else, like I'm just going to stop being supportive of you because you're wanting to punish somebody, that's different than I'm pulling all my resources back into me because I need to heal myself. I need to focus on me. But the Fool card, that's that new beginning, fresh start, new journey. So that's card 0 in the major arcana. That's the beginning. So it looks like there's a new cycle starting, that which would be moving past this point of indecision. So you're working on moving past that. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. So that's something that it can always be, it's always a good thing when you're able to connect with nature, depending on where you're living. I know there's been some crazy weather. For us, we had many, many days in there with lots of snow, lots of, sub-zero temperatures, Wind chill makes it feel like it's negative 25 degrees. So that makes it hard to get out in nature. So hopefully we're starting to see some of that turnaround where I'm at. So hopefully you are as well, so that you can get out in nature and connect better with spirit. All right. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So that's that positive sign that if you've been asking the universe to bring your person in, that's coming. So whether that has already started for you and you're in communication with the person, but your prayers are being answered. So a new path for you, whether that's a completely new person or maybe you've been praying and meditating on a new start within an existing relationship. But it looks like fresh new things are coming in for you. My air signs. All right. Beyond the ego, surrender to the flow of life. So this is kind of also that sense of, you know, giving up control, kind of surrendering control. So if there's been an air of like disappointment, it could be that you've been trying too hard to control the pieces yourself. And so just let it go, give it over to the divine. And that's what's going to bring in your fresh new start. I mean, look at all those, look at all those colors together. So that's going to be bringing in your fresh new start, is when you let go from an ego standpoint and surrender to the divine, to spirit, that timing is going to work out and that things are going to work out the way they're supposed to work out. And you may not see it yet because you're sitting in your own situation, but have faith that everything's working out the way it's supposed to. So I hope today's message has been helpful for you. And as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. So there will be some additional videos posting this week, as well as the daily reading. So make sure to hit that notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when the new content posts. And as always, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.